check it out, you got me mesmerized. With your black hair and your fat ass style. Street poetry is my everyday.
What is up, I'm Fox, welcome back to Foxy Games UK. It's certainly been a minute. You know what they say, good news is hard to come by. Yeah, I guess I could spam you with videos every day, sometimes maybe 3 times per day, regurgitating all the old news I've already covered just for that ad revenue, but no, that's not the way we do things around here. Besides, spamming your audience with pointless videos is a surefire way of fatiguing your subs or viewership. But anyway, enough about that. Starting with a news article posted via Kotaku.com by Brian Ashcraft. PlayStation 2 is dead. Long live PS2. Yes, after 18 or so years, Sony Japan is finally saying goodbye to the PlayStation 2. Here's the full story. Sony Interactive Entertainment's aftercare service for the PlayStation 2 in Japan is coming to an end. While the console has been out of production since 2012, Sony Japan continued to service the game machine, keeping it alive somewhat. Sony is now pulling the plug. As IT Media reports, Sony Japan also asked PS2 owners to fill out an online form by August 31st to have their consoles fixed for one last time. PS2 that arrived, really your PS2 that arrived at the PlayStation Clinic Service Center in Aweti Prefecture after September 7 will not be serviced. Those who did not register online prior had until August 31st to send their consoles in. Customer support for the PS2 also officially ended that same day. Now, the PlayStation 2 launched on March 4th, 2000 in Japan, and it went on to become the best-selling games console ever. At last count, 157 plus million sold globally, and they literally stopped counting PS2 sales like back in 2010 or something. Remarkable. In our next news story, this time posted via TheVerge.com by Tom Warren, Sony boss dismisses Fortnite crossplay controversy, citing PlayStation as the best place to play. Ooh, shots fired. Sony has been blocking crossplay and progression between Fortnite and PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. That is no secret. I've covered it time and time before. But while there were some signs the company was listening to the feedback to its controversial decision, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida has made the company's stance clear. In an interview with the Press Association via The Independent at the IFA last week, Yoshida claims the PlayStation 4 is the best experience to play Fortnite. Here's a quote. On cross-platform play, our way of thinking is always that the PlayStation is the best place to play. Fortnite, I believe, partnered with PlayStation 4, is the best experience for users. That's our belief. But actually, we're already open to some games as cross-platform play with PC and some others, so we decide based on what is the best user experience. That is our way of thinking for cross-platform. So Fortnite fans using a Nintendo Switch have made their feelings very clear over Sony's stance, and it's particularly frustrating as it blocks the sync of items and progression between the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. That means Fortnite players have to create an entirely new account on Switch if they've played on the PS4 before. That's a lot of grinding to do. Now, Sony has previously blocked crossplay between PS4 and Xbox One for Fortnite, Rocket League, Minecraft, and despite Nintendo and Microsoft supporting it, now, Microsoft and Nintendo teamed up to promote crossplay in Minecraft in an unusual move. Despite that, Yoshida says competition with Xbox and Nintendo is a healthy situation for Sony and the entire industry. Now, while Yoshida doesn't manage PlayStation directly, he's still the overall head of Sony and should be familiar with the company's plans. Yoshida's response makes it clear that Sony has no intention of enabling Fortnite crossplay, as the company feels it has the best user experience for the game, with 80 plus million users on that base. Now, that doesn't mean Sony won't enable crossplay for the future games, but if you are still hoping to play with your Fortnite PS4 account on a Switch or Xbox One, then it's probably never going to happen. Now, the headline, Xbox boss responds to Sony's new statement on crossplay. Sony still isn't listening to the gamers. It's courtesy of GameSpot.com, written by Eddie Makuch. Here's the full SP. Sony's new overall CEO, as I said before, Kenichiro Yoshida, recently made controversial comments about crossplay. Now, Xbox executives have waded in and responded. Xbox engineer lead Mike Ybarra said on Twitter that Sony still isn't listening to the gamers and the crossplay situation. Here's a quote. Sony still isn't listening to gamers. All games should be crossplay and progression with the right input flexibility and gamer options. But he would say that, wouldn't he? Now, after someone pointed out to Ybarra that Sony's PS4 has been outselling the Xbox One for a long time, Ybarra himself pointed out that Microsoft operates in the console and Windows PC space, which expands its gaming footprint significantly. He also suggested that Sony is doing a disservice to its users by not supporting cross-play. He went on to say, "We run Windows and console, larger gaming audience who really wants to play together. Gaming is diverse. If only you serve to bring joy to parts of the audience, then you are behind in many, many ways." Oh, shots fired there again. And they say the console war isn't real, huh? Now that the embargo has been lifted, let's move on to Spider-Man. More and more reviews are coming in thick and fast. Some 10s, some 9s, a few 8s here and there. So has Spider-Man downgraded really been debunked once and for all? Well, as suspected, Digital Foundry released an in-depth Spider-Man PS4 technical analysis video the other day, and Digital Foundry confirm no downgrade. Don't listen to YouTubers with absolutely zero artistic design nor talent skill. I mean, some of them, but not all of them. Many of these people are looking for fame and popularity on YouTube, Twitter, or whatever social media platform they feel the need to not totally feel irrelevant on. And I was really watching some of these YouTubers closely, and sadly a lot of them aren't very educated. A lot of them are uneducated, foul-mouthed, and downright depressing. I don't even know why they have a game channel, to be honest. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And as usual, a link to all content covered today can be found in the description. So share your thoughts and opinion on today's news, because that unfortunately brings us to the end of yet another video. But let's continue the discussion in the comments. And for more PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch news, subscribe to Foxy Games UK. Do remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss content. Thumbs up if you liked the video, and help us reach more like-minded gamers simply by sharing the video. If you really like what I do, show some love. Consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon. You'll find a link in this video's description. Much appreciated. And so there we have it. Until next time, always remember, play games, not corporations.